We must understand one thing clearly, my dear sensible brothers and sisters and the elders who gathered here. The future of a country is determined in the classrooms of the country. A country's welfare is determined in the kitchens of every house in the country. A country's resource is determined based on the land resources that the country has got. The wellness of the land sources of a country is determined by the water sources that the country has got, without a doubt. The water resources of the country is of course determined by the rain resources of the country. The rain resources of the country is determined by the mountain resources of the country. That's it. This is a circle. Bhasmasura asks for a blessing from Lord Shiva. If I put my hand on anyone's head, he must burn to ash. Shiva says it's given. Now Bhasmasura tells Shiva, I want to test whether it works, so I'm going to put my hand on your head. Exactly the same way, we cut down the trees that are hands of Mother Earth. We suck the rivers that are blood vessels of Earth. Now we break the head of the earth that are mountains. We emptied and sold the river sand, now the mountains have been targeted. We killed the mountains to get mountain sand, which is shortly called M sand. Only from the mountains come waterfalls. Waterfalls become rivers. From rivers we get water. From water, food, the source of all living creatures. You must understand that. For thousands of years, for millions of years, the nature has blessed us with the rivers, sand, mountains. You can't create sand, brother. You can't create mountains either. You have no right to destroy what you cannot create. No right. What does Mahatma Gandhi teach us? The Mother Earth fulfills all the needs of all the living creatures on earth. All the living creatures. But she struggles to fulfill the man's greed. Is it not cruel or brutal? What Lord Buddha has taught us. Just like a honeybee that comes to suck honey from a flower and it eats honey without making any damage to that flower, you humans should make use of the nature. But how do they do, these heartless morons? They shatter mountains that they cannot create. Didn't our ancestors build houses? Did they empty the river sand or break the mountains? Did they save millions of money in the banks for you? Or did they get luxurious cars for you? No. They preserved the lakes, the rivers, the trees, and the mountains also for you. Why? The world is not just yours. It belongs to future generations, your children and their children. You're just a tenant who live here for rent. Just like a tenant, when he leaves the house, he makes sure that the house remains undamaged. We must make sure that the earth remains undamaged for the next generation. When a day comes on which you will not be able to live on this earth, a huge revolution will break out and no one can stop it. There has been no revolution for car, but if there is no food and water left, the revolution cannot be stopped in any part of the world. Kindly don't ignore us, then there will be no one to save you. I swear, before everything goes wrong, give us the power to change everything and we will rectify everything. Otherwise, there is no way for us to, other than sitting with you and crying. Take a wise decision.